Is Ukraine about to finally admit defeat, actually come to the table, negotiate a peace agreement? Well, the West is now telling Ukraine, game over, your time is up. Over the past 24 hours, the U.S. mission to NATO released this statement to Ukraine, basically telling them it's time to negotiate a peace agreement. And even the warmongers on MSNBC admitted yesterday that Russia has won this war. Time to pack it in, time to go home. Listen.
2 or 3 more years of this is going to result in success. I simply don't see it. Russia's on a war footing. They have access also to arms from North Korea and Iran. So I just think, anytime in foreign policy, anytime in life, there's a big gap between what you're trying to do and your ability to do it. You've either got to increase your means or lower your goals. And I think here the only realistic option as a tactical measure is to lower our goals.
So is Ukraine about to finally admit defeat, actually come to the table, negotiate a peace agreement? Maybe we could get this before Christmas, before more young men or 75-year-old Ukrainian soldiers have to die in this war. Let's bring in former U.S. Marine, former UN Weapons Inspector Scott Ritter to talk about this. Scott, you've been predicting this. Well, you've been saying that this war has been over for months, so all that's left really is the fighting and sort of the crying at this stage, and that seems to be what's left. Do you think that this is a moment when NATO is pushing for a peace agreement? Will they actually come to the table?
What we have to look at here is that we've got the West starting to put pressure on Ukraine for a negotiated into this conflict. Nowhere in there do you hear the term Russia, other than acknowledgement of Russia winning. Russia's not going to negotiate. I don't know what the West thinks is happening here. The time for negotiation has passed. The Russians have said this. Russia had kept the door open for negotiation all through the fall of last year, all through the spring of this year, even early summer. But when the West doubled down on stupid by throwing billions of dollars worth of equipment into encouraging this counteroffensive that has cost Ukraine so dearly, and it's cost Russia. What people don't understand is, while the Russians talk about 90,000 Ukrainian casualties, Vladimir Putin has said that it's a 10-to-1 ratio. That's 9,000 Russian casualties. 9,000. That's not a drop in the bucket.
And this is just the counteroffensive we're talking about, the 90,000.
That's right. We're not talking about the whole war,
right?
Which, by some estimates, could be between 30 and 40,000 Russian dead, maybe 100,000 Russian casualties overall.